Ever since I was a young boy, I played the silver ball. That red, white, and blue boy sure plays a mean pinball. Let's jump in. How's it going, folks? Welcome back to the Snap Academy. I'm Muse. Today, we're playing a little ping pong with our newest season pass card, Sam Wilson, Captain America. Yeah, it's fun. I'm just going to start off with that. It's super fun. This is a very kind of different take than we've had in the past on just season pass cards. It is a little bit more narrow. I think that there is some kind of wiggle room to put him into decks, but he really is focused on a couple decks, ongoing, kind of a little bit of movement, which is what we're playing today, and maybe Zoo as well. I have seen a couple Zoo decks in the wild, not quite as consistent, but I do think that there's potential there. Starting off, Captain America Sam Wilson is a 2/3. Game start, add Cap Shield to a random location. Ongoing, you can move Cap Shield. A little bit of text on here, kind of those two keywords with the game start and ongoing, but you do actually kind of get two cards for one. We have been seeing that a little bit, kind of with the Luna Snow getting those two cards, High Evo beforehand, kind of unlocking a lot of cards, Doom 2099 with the tokens. We've been seeing a little bit more of that as they expand into the space. Cap Shield is a 1/1, which is why we've been seeing it in Zoo decks. Ongoing, this can't be destroyed. When you move to a location with Captain America or Cap, +2 power to that Cap. So you can move Cap Shield, put him on a Sam Wilson lane, he gets 2 power. Put him on an OG Captain America lane, he gets 2 power. That's the basis of the deck. So overall, I'm going to give Cap, Sam Wilson, I'm going to give him a 3.5 stars. Just overall, I do think he's 5 stars for fun, absolutely fun. Some of the visuals we get, I love when the shield first drops. I love that animation, but it's still very niche. I have gone positive with the decks I've played him in, but I still think we're kind of figuring it out, and this isn't necessarily a must-have card for competitiveness. Right now, I'm also giving it a 3-star. We're building kind of that new Captain America archetype, but it's not quite fleshed out to where it's an S tier deck yet. I really enjoy the decks I'm playing him in. I think he's fun, but maybe 1 or 2 cards away from being that 4 or 5 star. Must have for the season pass itself, I'm going to give 5-star because I always get the season pass card, or the season pass itself, just glowing rating, the best finances. If you have $10 to throw at Marvel Snap, that's the way to do it. So 5 stars on that. But if this was 6,000 tokens, I would probably also say 3-4 stars. Again, I'm not saying that this is a bad card by any means, but not one that if you miss the season pass, if you're looking at this video later and you have to buy it with tokens, you can maybe pass on it unless you just really want to play Captain America again. So starting with the deck, we're doing a little bit of kind of Zoo, kind of ongoing, moving things. There's a lot of different things going on, and I kind of like that. I'm playing Miles Morales again. We're playing Hercules in a deck and actually doing pretty well with him. I really like Hercules in this deck and kind of ping-ponging the shield all around. I don't think I got it on stream, but I did have a Sinister London, which I think is the one. I always get the Sinister Bar and London confused. But I had 2 Herculeses, and they were just kind of bouncing everywhere, and it was super fun. I had a few Caps. I had 2 Sam Wilsons, 2 Captain Americas, 2 Herculeses, and just kind of bouncing the shield everywhere. It was a good time, and just scaled epically because there was so much going on. So starting off at the bottom, we have the Ant-Man. He scales up. He becomes a 1/6 when you fill up your lane, which is very easy with this deck. We have a lot of cheap cards, and that Captain America shield does add or subtract 1 spot from the lanes. So you very easily able to fill up 1 location. Echo is a great snipe card. Echo's, again, one of my favorite tech cards, very underrated. Destroying their ongoing, so sniping a Morbius, which I've done, sniping their Gore, sniping their Iron Man. That's what we do with Echo with the hidden ability. Your opponent can't see this card. So people have kind of been catching on a little bit more, but people do still forget that Echo exists and what it does when it's on the board, and we'll play right into it still. Hydra Bob, I really just wanted, just a little bit more power to keep that initiative so we can kind of keep everything going. It's move it into a lane later, activate the Craven, just a quick, easy 1 drop to kind of fill out if we don't get Sam Wilson by turn 2. So on turn 3, we can still play Sam Wilson and a Hydra Bob, or if they're playing a move deck, we could play Sam Wilson and Miles Morales, which you're always going to play for a 1 as well. Ended up being a 1/6. That's great value that you can play by turn 5 usually. Craven, Cap, and Cap are all of our kind of move justifiers, if that makes sense. So anytime the shield is moving on to one of these 3, they're getting that extra power. They're scaling up. Move scalers, that's the word I was looking for. And kind of the bread and butter of the deck. If we don't have any of these out, we're not scaling, we're probably not going to win. So you really need Captain America to kind of get this going, but there's kind of enough power in the rest. If your opponent doesn't necessarily draw into exactly what they need, you can still win, but it's going to be a little bit harder. Cosmo, Red Guardian, those are our other 2 tech cards. We're actually running 3 tech cards in this deck, all below 3 costs or less. That way we can kind of fill in where we need to while we're moving the shield, trying to get in the rest of these pieces. Cosmo, again, we're going to be sniping destroy decks. We're going to be sniping discard decks. We had one game in the pilot later where we sniped a Gambit and a Morbius on turn 4 with a Cosmo and an Echo having priority. That is really why we, again, have that Hydra Bob, to keep that priority into the later turns. We have a little bit more power as we start scaling into our Captain Americas, so we can hit those snipes with the Echo and the Cosmo. Hercules, this is where we're getting our ping pong. We don't necessarily need Hercules on the board to get everything scaling, but it does help. You want to make sure that your Hercules is in a Cap lane so that when you move the shield into that lane, then it kicks back out and goes to the other Cap, so you're getting that double scaling on a turn. Captain Marvel, just to kind of help us out, fill out, moving that 5 power around, possibly also giving that Craven an extra bit of power to help us get the win. You always want to play Captain Marvel in a lane that you are probably losing already or close to winning, so that way, if they don't play in that lane, you win, and if they do play in that lane, Captain Marvel can move over and kick into another lane and get that win for you. You always want to keep the lane that you're kind of winning most open, just in case they do hit you with the Shang-Chi, which is possible, or possibly a Shadow King or a Magneto, just to kind of help out. And Spectrum's our finisher. I do really like to play kind of build your own 6-drop sometimes, but Spectrum kind of helps get into just a little bit more power on the other lanes. That 6-7 stat line is quite meaningful in a lane that you have open that you don't have Cosmo in, and it kind of filling up the rest of our ongoings. The shield is also ongoing, so it's also getting that buff, becoming really a 0/3 for free. So better than a Wasp, way better than a Yellow Jacket. Yeah, that's kind of the deck. Something that's very important to know about this deck is the movement happens first. That was kind of counterintuitive to me as I was starting to play this deck, is you have to play Sam Wilson down on a different lane than the shield lands on. That way you can play the card on turn 2 and then move it in, and then play on turn 3. Let me rephrase that. So to play it, you need to play Sam Wilson on a lane that doesn't have the shield. So you play Sam Wilson on turn 2. Then you can, on turn 3, play your next Captain America, move the shield onto Sam Wilson, and then on turn 4, move the shield onto Cap. It doesn't work if you try to play the card, then move it, because movement happens first. The card is face down, so then you don't get that buff. Now that we know what's in the deck, grab the deck list from the description below, follow along, let's jump in. All right, so we are jumping into the pilot here. Waiting for an opponent. Waiting. There you go. All right, so ideally with the deck, we want Captain America Sam Wilson on turn 1-2. We don't have a start. Probably stick Hydra Bob mid for now. I'm not probably going to snap. They might snap. He might get out. Who knows? We do have Captain America 4-3. This isn't the best start. Captain America, not bad. Captain Marvel, not bad. We are on ladder, so everything that we're doing is they've got a scaler on the miniaturized lab. That's really good for them. They're probably doing Dakin stuff. Chimichanga. I there's our Sam Wilson. So I want to do that, and then maybe also do the Chimmy onto the shield. So return behind, which isn't great, but we can start scaling up, getting what we need. I probably should have snapped to get that Hydra Bob, so I could have done Captain America and Miles Morales. Alright, so they are doing discardy things, but I'm going to get that Captain America down just to get the scaling. Again, I probably should have snapped to get the Hydra Bob out of the miniaturized lab, so that I could have also dropped the Miles Morales on top. And what we want to do when we do play our Captain America is play in the opposite lane than the shield, because you have to drop the card, then it activates. You can't move until next turn, so it's a little counterintuitive because the way that move works now, it happens before cards reveal.
Avengers!
All right. So they do have the Bullseye. They haven't done anything yet with discarding, so I'm actually going to drop this Cosmo right. I think they might do that there, just to try to give a little bit extra, and then we will cap shield. We do have the Miles Morales, and then I might also drop Echo here, just in case they do try to do a Morbius. And they did do 2 cards. So we did hit the Morbius. And we hit a Gambit, but he's not... Oh, we hit the on reveal, so we actually double sniped him. That's absolutely huge for us. And then we will just drop the Captain America shield left, or mid, just to get that extra little bit. And then Craven right, in case the Captain Marvel goes in. We get the extra bit from Captain Marvel, and we get a little bit more scaling here for the Captain. We have a pretty large shield, so it's +3. Yeah, we should be pretty good here. We did not get the Hercules down, but that is really just if you get Sam Wilson on curve. MODOK into Dakin. So the collector does get bigger. We did outscale the Dakin. And then Captain Marvel moved if we need it, but we don't. We did that. Yeah, those snipes were super key. I guess we are also getting the last parts.
Assemble.
Still good? Still good. So yeah, we just beat the Dakin deck, which is one of the top decks right now. The Echo play, the Cosmo play, super great tech cards. All right, love that animation. We do have Sam Wilson on 2. So kind of like I was saying, we want to make sure that we're playing Sam on a different lane than the shield. That way when we play him next turn, we can move him in, and then you play your Captain America on a separate lane as well, so that way we can start getting the ping pong. If we don't get Captain America, we'll drop down the Hercules to get a little bit more movement. So they do get our Hercules, we get a speed, so that's actually pretty good for us. I really like that. And then we're gonna go cap here. I'm gonna probably end with a Spectrum on Camartage if it's still there, and then we can start doing some ping pong things. A double Nico. You can do a kitty press and then do bounce stuff. +5 energy, that's pretty big for us, especially if we can get cap. Don't get cap, unfortunately, so we'll drop the shield in, do a speed. We can actually do everything we want, so then we'll do speed, Ant-Man. Actually, I like to do Ant-Man on this lane, and we'll do Miles over here just to get a little bit extra power onto the Camartage, dropping our Spectrum in. So we are in a really good spot getting down all of our energy, popping that speed, super great. Speed is also ongoing, so if we do it, drop a cap here, we'll be good to go. I actually really appreciate them dropping the Hercules here because I can move the shield into there, bounce it back out. So we still get a little Hercules gameplay, which is real nice here. We'll drop the Cosmo and then shield over, and then the Hercules is going to kick it over. Hopefully we get that back on the caps, back on cap. Yep, beautiful. That's why we have that Hercules there, to get that extra proc. US Agent doesn't do anything to us. We do have a pretty large Kitty Pride, but we do have Echo. So Echo doesn't do too much for us here. We'll just drop the shield right. Yeah, hopefully we get that proc one more time. And they retreated. We did scale very high there. Them dropping the Hercules really helped us out. The speed really helped us out. I probably could have snapped to kick over the Hydra Bob to put something else in here maybe, but we didn't really need to. We kind of ended up, we really could have punted right and then been okay, and then had everything else over here. The Spectrum would have added 4 power to all of these, or to Speed and Ant-Man, as well as Captain America, so that's just a lot of power. All right, so we do get to thin our deck a little bit. Hydra Bob's always good to play on turn 1. He's just a big beat stick. He can proc the Kraven if we do get that out. Just kind of another thing that moves a little bit power for scaling. No Sam Wilson, so we're just going to drop some, just drop a little bit of power. Dagger only gets what, +1, +2 now? +2. Ooh, that sucks for us, but it does fill up our Ant-Man, which is kind of nice here. We do also have our Captain America. Luckily, we did have a move with the dagger. They actually helped us out there, so we can play Miles. So with Captain America, Miles, nice little start there. So anything against move decks, this does also help proc your Miles, which is great. Just kind of free power there to help fill in.
I am the Sorcerer Supreme.
We're going to do a little Captain America here. Again, it's going to pop left, and then we want to go right. Luckily, we can just ping pong here. So if we do get the Hercules, that's just kind of guaranteed power.
Avengers! Assemble.
Oh, they got the Kraven down. We also got our Kraven, so we'll just do this. Yeah, I'll just pull cap shield there, Kraven here, and then I might also just Red Guardian that. Just keep him from that little bit extra power. They did get a lot off of that. We did not get as many procs as we really wanted. Dang. Yeah, they got a whole lot going on there. Hit their Human Torch, which is nice. So we do still have a decent amount of power here. Not feeling too bad about it. So actually, this is great. We can finish off with Cap Shield here. Give Cap, give Kraven, and then do a little Spectrum to give ourselves a little boost, a little bit of everywhere. And they retreated, so they did not have the Heimdall. He outscaled move deck. Easy peasy. This does look scary. I actually didn't know if we would win or not, but we did outscale them. They only had the one dagger, which could not move, and a Heimdall may have won it, but they may not have had it. So yeah, we definitely lucked in a little bit, had some good RNG, but the deck did what it needed to do. Was a turn behind when you do get Captain America Sam Wilson. on turn 2, this really just escalates the entire deck and is a snap condition, especially if you have both caps in your hand. So overall, I do like this deck. I will be playing this deck more and more. It might be a great conquest deck, a tournament deck, possibly even our Sanctum Showdown decks. Maybe when that pops up, I believe that's going to be February 11th when we do get the Sanctum Showdown. We will have a video on that, just kind of breaking down some gameplay, having fun with that, and going over the store as well. So if you enjoy these deck highlights, videos, and breakdowns, make sure you snap those like and subscribe buttons. Let me know in the comments if you're playing Captain America, what kind of version you are playing. Make sure you check us out on Twitch every Tuesday, where we are doing our viewer submitted deck battles, having a great time going over the new card as it drops out. So until next time, happy snapping.